Hey Mark, it's RJ with RPS. I want to just show you a little bit of the down the line. Um, so we're hitting this warm up shots here, and we'll just talk a little bit about the swing and kind of some things that we might want to adjust a little bit. So we have our little backswing here, and we'll talk a little bit about backswing in our next lesson. But we can kind of see that the club head itself does get just a little bit inside, and I'll show you why. Okay, so the club head gets a little bit inside the hands. And anytime that club gets in, we're going to tend to kind of lift the club up a little bit. So as we get the club heads inside the hands, then the hands and the arms are going to start to lift and go up a little bit. So the good thing is here, you have your, good club face, wrist angle is very good. So you've done a really good job on that. But we can kind of just see the steepness, and I know you stopped this backswing kind of short, but we can kind of see the steepness in this arm a little bit, where if we kept going a little bit, that left arm is going to be above the shoulder plane. So it doesn't look like it's a whole lot from this particular swing. But if I get your shoulder plane and getting rid of some of the big fadey shots, we want to try to get that left line to match the green line. And we're going to do that with just a little bit of rotation. We're going to help, especially in the backswing, with a pivot and a shoulder turn. We're going to try to feel like we keep the club head a little bit more outside the hands or in front so that the body can continue to rotate. Once the club kind of goes in, the body usually stops rotating, and then we have like a lift up to the top of our swing. And what happens with that, if I go back to the beginning, what happens there is when that left arm gets a little bit up, or we get that little lift, okay, we then can see that this club shaft is going to kind of come close to the green, okay, but you can kind of see where this club is coming almost over the shoulder, okay. Ideally, we want to try to feel like we get the club a little bit more through the bicep. So a little bit steep in the downswing. But very good wrist angles and club face. So that's good thing to have. That's a good kind of fundamental to have. We just want to get a little bit more turn of the body so that the left arm can feel a little bit more across the chest. And then it'll shallow a lot easier. So this original, you can kind of see a little lift up to the top, kind of pretty steep on the way down. So the club shaft through the shoulder. Now you can kind of see the club head outside the hands here. Okay, and then from here, what's happening is the club is almost swinging so much to the left. Okay, and then remember, then we're going to put a little right hand in there. So the club head is going to be swinging left. So the body itself is going to start to stop turning, if not back up this way. So now you'll see the right knee kind of go forward quite a bit, the left leg straighten, the left hip come back to us, and then you can kind of see the right hand go very much to the left, okay? And that's where we get this movement in our shoulders and in our spine. So now we have this curve in our spine, and we have the steepness in our shoulders. And then, the right knee is forward, this knee is kind of locked up a bit. So it's just kind of a little steep coming down, and then when the body stops rotating, and then the hands kind of swing left. So we want everything rotating and moving to the target. So on this one here, we didn't talk too much backswing, but pretty good backswing, a little bit more turn, left arm a little bit more across the shoulders. As we come down now, we can kind of see the club shaft just barely under the shoulder. So that club shaft is working a little bit more under the shoulder versus if I get the hands in about the same spot. We'll say that's about fair. Right about here. So here we can kind of see the club shaft kind of on top of the shoulder, and this club shaft is kind of under the shoulder. So much better job. And we just did that by a little bit of rotation. So now we're letting the club fall, and as we're swinging, we can kind of see the club head work a little bit more down the line, okay? But I want to show you the difference of your shoulders, okay? So if I come here, now you can kind of see our spine is pretty straight this way, and then there's where my shoulders are, versus this one, which we have our shoulders pointing more down this way, and then this spine is kind of twisted. Okay, so that's where we're talking about level shoulders, just adding a little bit of rotation and some of the things that it can kind of help us with. So at the end of the day, first lesson, we'll get into the, check our grips and things like that, but we're just trying to get a little bit more turn and pivot on the way back, just a little bit more rotation with our shoulders and our hips. And then from there, as my arms fall, we just want to kind of continue the rotation, trying to level the shoulders out, just trying to get some rotation through the shot of the body, teaching the body how to move forward. And then we'll kind of show you how it's going to change the plane through time. So, thank you.